Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Marlene Cuellar.
And I'm Brighton Cotton.
And thank you for joining us this morning.
It's definitely a beautiful Friday morning, Marlene.
That's right.
Seeing the sunrise this morning was a beautiful thing.
Of course. And it's Friday. Aren't we all happy about that?
Absolutely. And Marlene, it's my birthday weekend, and so the weather, I would like for it to be sunny,
okay,
so that I could go on some adventures this weekend.
Okay, well, of course, with social distancing considered and size.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know birthdays have been so strange with the pandemic. You have to consider all the factors, how risky it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's why I tell people I skipped this year entirely. I'll be the same age next year.
Yeah, last year I was in quarantine.
Oh.
And I celebrated my birthday in quarantine, so I'm looking forward to get something done this year.
Oh, because you were returning to the country.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a lonely birthday. Thank goodness for technology.
Only FaceTime.
Did you at least get a cake when you came out of quarantine?
I did.
Okay.
My mother had a cake waiting for me at home.
All right, there you go. So you just had a delayed celebration. That's what that was. All right, so we're going to be checking in on our weather, and well, what we're going to do is go ahead and just read our forecast for today. So the general situation.
So we're having a cold front that is affecting the area and supporting an increase in moisture and instability.
All right, or 24-hour forecast. Skies will become cloudy at times with a few showers, thunderstorms, and periods of rain developing around the country today, but especially inland areas. Then activity will continue mostly over northern and inland areas tonight.
And the marine conditions, we're seeing winds moving east 5 to 15 knots. The sea state is choppy and waves of 3 to 5 feet.
All right, so our high temperatures for today are going to be 82 along the coast, 86 inland, and 74 in the hills. While our lows?
Our lows are going to be in the coast, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, inland, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills, 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, the extended forecast. A few showers, periods of rain, and isolated thunderstorms will affect mainly central and southern areas on Saturday. Activity will gradually decrease, lingering mostly offshore and over some coastal areas on Saturday night. And we want to thank our forecaster, Crystal Rosales, for preparing that update. So we're going to have some rains, essentially.
Hopefully it stays inland.
Oh, you were just asking for good weather for your birthday. I'm sorry. Well, you delivered the news to everybody else who was hoping the same. It seems like it's going to slow down by Saturday. That's what our forecast is saying.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be mostly along the coast and in the southern areas. So hopefully the Keys will be sunny.
All right, so we're going to keep things moving this morning, and that means some motivation to get your day started. And it means it's time for our Eye Opener. Our Eye Opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. Take the time today to really notice and appreciate the beauty that surrounds you. We have a habit of seeing it without really taking it in. Yet once again, we begin to notice it. We treat ourselves to an exquisite realm of subtle, complex scents, miraculous forms, and ethereal light. The natural world enriches our entire being through the vehicles of our senses. When we are low, nature lifts our spirits. When we are tired, it rejuvenates us if we pause long enough to drink from its beauty. If you've fallen out of the practice of taking time to observe the light as it filters through the leaves of a tree, or the concentric rings atop a raindrop makes as it plops into a puddle, after you devote one day to opening your eyes more fully to the beauty of nature, you may want to make this part of your daily routine. Each day, drink from the beauty all around you and allow it to rejuvenate your entire being. All you have to do is pause just for 1 minute and really take it in, remembering to thank Mother Nature for her beauty. All right. Well, we said it's such a beautiful day. I think that, well, the day is starting off beautiful.
Certainly.
But I think that this is always one of the, when we talk about appreciating the beauty we have in this country, and how much we take it for granted, that's such a great reminder that we can just take a moment to see what we have, appreciate it all, and allow it to shift our energy as well.
You know, it's a beautiful thing, Marlene, to just sit in the silence of nature and just appreciate your thoughts and just appreciate the serenity that comes with that. It's just a healing experience too. And I think this is very fitting for the kind of weekend that I would like to have. One that just kind of have me taken away from everything that's happening right now. You know, it's definitely something that's going to be mentally healing. You
know, we are such water babies in Belize, and I don't think we realize it until you end up in somewhere else in the world where there's no water around. It's like you see a river or you see a lake, and you're like, water, I feel more myself. And especially growing up along coastal communities, or if you have a river nearby, it just becomes a part of the soothing sense that nature provides to us. But as I said earlier, we really do take it for granted. Some of the best times, I like the morning, clearly, because I just think it's quiet and there's this whole little symphony that takes place in the background, the birds, the breeze, and it's just a great way to start your day.
Certainly.
I know a lot of people are night owls too. They wait for the moon to come up.
Oh yeah. Some people prefer early mornings, some people prefer in the evenings, sunrise versus sunset. But I think I have an appreciation for nature in general, and so I just appreciate
like the beach.
Being alone.
I like the beach, right? All right, so that's our eye-opener for this morning. A great reminder for you, especially as you start your day. You do want to step outside and just enjoy the day as it starts to break, right? And of course, there's a lot going on in the country at this time, and we are being told that the budget that should be presented, we actually initially expected it around this time, then we were told next week is actually going to be postponed as the negotiations are ongoing with the proposed wage cut for public officers. Yeah.
Marlene, I want to say 3 things in reference to this particular incident or the ongoing situation. Firstly, I think it's the right thing to push back the budget presentation. I believe it shows that the government respects the principles and values of democracy, and they are willing to open up back the room of discussion for the unions to present to them a list of viable solutions to be able to tackle the problem that we're facing. And so I do look forward to seeing the unions present a list of what I think would be cost-saving measures that will be effective and efficient in going forward. And I think what a lot of people must understand also is that the government is in a very hard place right now trying to get our economy back up and going, considering that if you look at 2019, our exports to imports ratio is almost 4-to-1. We have been exporting approximately $319 million worth of goods and importing a stupefying $1.12 billion of goods. And so, and to make it even worse, we were not doing much exporting with our neighbors, Mexico and Guatemala. We mostly export to the United Kingdom and the United States of America. So definitely we've been seeing this type of unsustainability in terms of our development and our growth. happening prior to the pandemic, which started in 2000, well, started affecting us in 2020, when we started to borrow $30 million a month to be able to meet certain expenditures. So certainly I look forward to see what will be presented by the unions to the government to be able to take us out of this situation.
You know, the Minister of State, who's on the show earlier this week, spoke of tough decisions that need to be made, and that's exactly where we are. And I am really interested. I mean, I think everybody's kind of just watching to see where this is going to go. We know the unions are a very powerful force.
Right.
Talking thousands of workers who have absolute, and I appreciate you pointing that out. The fact that we can have this space in our democracy is something that we should not take for granted.
Right.
That they have a voice to speak out, that there is room for negotiation. And the issue itself has been so divisive. I mean, people are either one way or the other, which is concerning because there has to be a compromise that's going to happen. If the unions are set on the fact that they're against either the 10% cut, I think a part of what they're saying is they're open to some of the increment freeze. But if you are talking about moving forward, there's going to have to be a solution that will come out of it. And it's not just one or the other. So this is the first major challenge in negotiating with the unions that this new administration is facing. And I think everybody's watching to see how it will go.
Absolutely.
So the delay in the budget presentation does mean, of course, that everything gets pushed back. There's the presentation, then there's a subsequent debate that must take place. And even the presentation for the budget, I know I'm looking forward to see what type of innovation is going to come from it. Clearly, the budget, because of where we are financially, it means that there's not that much money to spread around. So where are they going to make cuts? Which ministries will still be able to get a reasonable piece of the pie? We know education takes a big part of the budget a lot of times, most of the times. And so this will really tell us a bit. This will really be insightful in helping us understand how innovative this new administration will be in turning around the economy.
Absolutely. And for viewers at home, Marlene, one of the ways I try to explain to people about the scaling up of organizations or even governments is that there are 4 factors that you look at in scaling up any organization. And these, if you would want to follow at home, you could look up the Rockefeller Habits 2.0. It's people, strategy, execution, and cash. Right now, we are in a state where we are strapped for cash. And so the next important stakeholder in all of this is your people. And if you get your people against you, then there's definitely not going to be that scaling up that you'd want to see as fast as possible. So we need to go back to the drawing board and see what other strategy or alternative mechanisms we can utilize to be able to meet these deficiencies that we have right now before going to your stakeholder, your people, which is critically important to the scaling up of your organization.
No, we gotta, as I said, it's gonna be an interesting time ahead for us to see what decisions are going to be made, and we'll keep on bringing it for you in our newscast at 6 p.m. And but we got to get moving into our show for today. One of the things that we are going to be talking about is, we got Brock It Down with Jenny. So Jenny's going to be with us, and she's going to be talking about adjusting how, I'm sorry, what's the topic?
We're going to be doing Brock It Down with Jenny. And it's a salute to women. Oh,
because it's Women's Month.
Right. So we're continuing to celebrate women and all the beauty that comes with women.
Okay, yes, and all the work that they do and how we can appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that one. The second part of our show, we're continuing a conversation. We've been working along with Red Plus, and of course funded through the World Bank, and we've been talking about the importance of forestry, and we've covered so many different aspects. We've looked at forest fires, we've looked at deforestation that has happened over the years, how they use technology to really track what's happening, and yesterday talking about the impact on wildlife. Today we're going to talk about forest protection at the community level. So for people who live in the vicinity of some of the protected areas, how are they engaged? How do the organizations and the forest department get them engaged in understanding and appreciating forest protection?
And the third is Child Stimulation Month. We're continuing with our discussion with child stimulation, and we're going to be having a workout routine, an easy workout routine and nutritional tips for kids.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a fun one, because we had some kids, some children who joined us maybe it was about 2 weeks ago. And so they took over the show, and people really loved them. So they're coming back. They're going to take over again later. But this time, we are going to make them do something. They're going to be working out with Karen Rosito. Looking forward to that. But we got to get moving into our show. Before we do, we have a big, big birthday shout out. So, from all of us here at Channel 5 and Open Your Eyes, and I'm sure from the many viewers who have grown to love him on air, we are saying happy, happy birthday to
Dwayne Moody.
Dwayne, we hope you have a great day today. Do enjoy and celebrate everything that we love about you. We know the family loves you, friends love you, and your coworkers here love you too. So make it a special one. And
it's the best month of the year. I'm biased.
I do love March for the weather, but there's some good people born in this month too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get moving into our show. We'll take that break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jenny Lovell to talk about a number of topics about what's affecting women at this time. Stay tuned.
Hello? Okay, sure, I'll be there. Hello?
Hi, Mommy. When are you coming home? I really miss you.
Hearing the voice of our loved ones can always lift our spirits and make us feel whole again. With Smart's twice as nice promotion, prepaid customers who make 5 minutes worth of national calls on Sundays can enjoy 50% off. Top double on all national calls for the rest of the day. Call your loved ones and enjoy half off all day long. Smart, bringing people together.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Lord, patience with them people out here. I want to talk to the one who sit on the street, they hold their mask, they dangle it from their hand like this, or they put their mask on their chin like that, or put it round their neck like so. Or worse, they one will like they hang it from their neck like that chain. Then when they see the police they come, they hurry put the mask on their face. You don't understand the harm you do to yourself. And not only to you, to other people too. If you want to be infected with the COVID-19 virus, go through. But you have to understand, all of we are affected by your fool action. Not just you. People like say they can't take the mask. What do you think better? Deal with the mask fairly well or end up in a hospital? If somebody not live in the same house with you, you have to wear a mask when you're there with them. even if they're your family or your company, you still need to wear the mask. Everybody you meet could have COVID-19. When you wear the mask the correct way, if you cover your whole nose, your whole mouth, and your chin, that's how we will protect all our way.
A message from the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, the European Union, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Set in place by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Passengers traveling to the U.S. must present a negative COVID test or a documentation of having recovered from COVID-19 to travel to the U.S. In light of this, Maya, in partnership with Caring Hands Clinic, have established testing centers in all their municipal airports. Caring Hands Antigen Test Center is operational in San Pedro, Belize City, Dangriga, Placencia, and Hopkins. These testing facilities are staffed by licensed healthcare professionals, including doctors, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. Testing is done using Abbott Rapid Test devices that are FDA approved and made in the USA. The service is safe, fast, affordable, and the close proximity of the centers makes them convenient. Walk-ins are welcomed, but appointments are encouraged. If you would like to make an appointment, please feel free to do so at Make your appointment, get tested, and in 15 minutes, you can get back to your vacation.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan. Ability to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.
And we are back, and we move into our first segment with mental health therapist Jenny, I love it, Lovell. And we're going to be discussing with Jenny today. We're going to be saluting our women. And so we are very excited to dive into this discussion, considering that we are continuing the celebration of Women's Month. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling really top of the world this morning.
Nice.
Awesome.
My first, so I am so happy to have you here. And, you know, I think, Jenny, we're getting closer to that time when you'll be able to come back in set and talk with us.
Yes.
I know.
Looking forward to it.
I know. Yeah, so go ahead.
No, I really wanted to big up women, especially these women who are at home. We're doing all, men say, oh, that's women's work. Well, guess what? It's more than women's work.
Yeah.
And they're juggling all kinds of things. And I really want to salute all these women out there, because I don't think we say it enough.
I want to jump in with a question here before we get into it, because you were telling me off air, and I think it's really interesting. mental health therapists have and globally, we've seen where mental health has become one of the areas of great need during the pandemic. And it is actually, you were sharing that you're seeing the same thing here in Belize, that people are reaching out and that a lot of people are struggling. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of women. I'm seeing more women than I've seen before ever.
Wow.
And they are coming from basically all walks of life. We used to say that people in Belize don't come to counseling, they're coming to counseling. And like I said, mostly women. The guys are still reticent to do this. And they're coming with mostly stress, anxiety, depression. And so I think people don't appreciate the fact all the things these women are juggling. So I wanted to point that out today and say kudos to our ladies out there, our mothers or stay-at-home moms, and then the ones who are working from home and juggling all these other things.
Yeah.
So that's a juggler up there.
Yeah, I see it every day with my mom. Sometimes she's in the house, sometimes she's out in the field, she's in presentations on Zoom, and she's trying to juggle it all, and she does it so well too.
Yeah.
But it takes a toll, doesn't it?
Yes, it takes a toll.
Yeah.
It definitely takes a toll.
All right, so let's dive into some of the issues that you have been seeing, and let's hope that we can help some of our viewers this morning identify and maybe know whether or not they can reach out for help or cope with some new techniques.
One of the main things is that, for example, these women are working from home. Some of them. Some have left the workplace because they can't. It's difficult to try to juggle everything. And people think, oh, they have all this time on their hand. These women say, like, especially the ones who have more than one child, right? They have to help the children with homework, help the child with doing all their projects that they have to do, and then they have to still do their job on their computer with all the distractions from the children. They still have to prepare meals because they're home, so the children are hungry. There's a myriad of things, and women are having to now be teaching their children because they're worried that their children are falling behind, not being in school, right? So they're being pushed back into the traditional roles of having to care for the children at home. And a lot of people wonder, am I going to be able to go back and pick up where I left off in my job? Because bosses are getting irritable about the fact that their babies babies walking in and out of the room when they're supposed to be working, especially if they're doing a job where they're online or they have to talk for their job, they have to talk on the phone. And so they're having to make choices between being a mother or being in the workplace or doing their job, right? And really, we have to appreciate the level of sacrifice these women are making. They're trying to do this job in a constant state of distraction. Because can you imagine you have a child at home who has mom at home and they want attention, the little ones. And then the ones that are sitting on their computers, and you have to make sure as a mother, you have to make sure that they are doing their work, they're understanding the work, because there's no teacher there to really guide them. It's the hands-on, the eyes-on. So you have to pay attention to that too. And so these ladies are stressed. I'm telling you, they are stressed.
They're tired. They're tired.
And Jenny, if you could share with us too, is the majority of women who are seeking your counsel right now, are they single mothers?
Majority are single mothers. I would say probably about 10% would be women who have a husband or someone living in the home with them. It's different from like overseas. Overseas, we're having the same problem. The women are having the same problem because the men make more money than they do. I mean, that's traditionally. And so they're the ones who have had to step away from their job, try to work at home, or just stay at home and take care of the children in the home. And so they're going back into traditional roles of taking care of the children while the husband's out working. So all the gains that we've made in the women's movement is just being undermined at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when women try to go back into the workplace. We have a lot of stories of women who have been released from their jobs because the babies, they have young babies they're taking care of at home and trying to, for example, talk on the telephone as a part of their job and having to have this baby present. And bosses don't want that. But what is she supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when you look at the stress of it, there's the natural stress of life itself that would happen, but you also have these added layers, you know, concerns about finances, I'm sure, all families across the country, concerns about whether or not the children are learning. You know, you care about your children, you want to know they're doing well. Maybe you have guilt because you actually have to split your time between doing work and caring for the children. So all these layers are mounting on top of especially our women. And I do want to acknowledge that I know some dads get involved, and that's wonderful when there's shared responsibility. But let's look at what the majority are facing. And the majority of the caregiving does land on the lap of the woman.
The mother, yeah. It does land on the lap of the woman.
Yeah.
He leaves the house and he goes out to work. She has to take up the responsibility, and she will because she's the mother.
Yeah.
And moms are naturally caregivers, and they will take care of their children, especially if they feel their children are falling behind. So the roles have fallen to the ladies, you know. And so today I want to talk a bit about self-care and all of that. But before I do that, I wanted to make a point here that I want people to hear, especially people who may not be understanding what these women are going through. They're working on their own jobs at home right now, at home. They're doing the child care workers' job too because of COVID, things are closed down. People can't come to your home to take care of your children.
Yeah.
So she's also doing the child care workers' job. And she's doing the teacher's job at home. The teachers prepare the packets and send it for the children, or they give them their homework over the computer. And she has to be the teacher to ensure that they're doing the stuff and they're doing it correctly and correcting it before they send it in. And sometimes these ladies say sometimes they might have four pieces of things to do from one teacher. So I'm really hoping that teachers hear this and look at how they can minimize the information that they're asking the children to produce. Because that one lady at home, she's juggling a lot of stuff.
Can I ask, you know, for women who are watching this, who perhaps can identify with everything that you're saying right now, what's your advice to them? And let's say they do have a partner at home, not a single mom, or they have an extended family. What do you say to them about how to approach the topic of asking for help or for shared responsibility?
I tell you what, I am saying to women, if we go to one of the slides there, we're talking about self-care, right? You have to speak up. You cannot sit there and try to do all of this by yourself. Especially, you have a responsibility to take care of your own self. Okay? Otherwise, these ladies are burning out, and if you burn out, then the kids are really out there on their own, right? So the husbands, the common laws, have to step up and help, but she also has to ask for help. Okay, she has to first look at being her own best friend. What did you tell your best friend if you saw her juggling all these things and not getting the assistance? You have to ask for it. You also need to make some alone time. Go to the bathroom and lock the door. Soak yourself up in your tub or something, but make some alone time just to sort of decompress yourself, right? Use no. If you're getting too much, tell your husband, your partner, no, you have to help. You need to go into the kitchen and prepare something for the kids to eat, because there's no way I can do it. You've got to get help. Change your routine. Get your routine into do things differently. Look at how you can get family members, your mother, the grandmothers to the children, to come in and help you. The main thing, be kind to yourself. And being kind to yourself means that you then are looking at ways that you can find others to help you to juggle these things, so you're not burning out. Because I see women who are burning out or have burned out. All right.
Yeah. And also speaking in particular, Jenny, I think to children at home and to young teenagers at home, help your mother out how you can around the house. It definitely goes a long way.
Well, that's one of the things I think you have to we have to remind mothers too. Chore charts, make a chore chart. Have the teenagers pick up some of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Every one of them needs to have chores. They need to be picking up after themselves and they need to make up their own beds and put a chore chart and give them all chores. They have to learn responsibility, and if you're going to give them little rewards, they have to earn it by doing chores. I was going to bring the chore chart to show people what a chore chart looks like. I'm going to send it later so you can add it to the presentation. That people can go and get it from there. Because that's critical. Get the kids to help. And in that chore chart, make sure your husband, your common law, is also on that chore chart.
No, I mean, you triggered a thought in my mind. So children are learning what mom's responsibilities are during this time. And girl or boy, that's what they'll probably do when they get older. Little girls are saying, oh, mommy does everything. Little boys are saying, that's what mommies do. And you're teaching them. So that's, I never thought of that, but you have to get them involved. And daddy or as you said, spouse or common law, they also have to get engaged.
Yes. But the thing is, a lot of times we try to do everything by ourselves because we like to be superwomen. But you know what? We cannot be superwomen when we're doing all these things. I'm sorry. There is just no way. I want women to know I admire and I'm picking you all up because I know what you're going through, and I want to share it with other people who might not understand the level of responsibility these women are shouldering right now.
But how do you let go of the control? Because I can hear the family members saying, well, I could do the schoolwork, but she'll still want to do it over with them because it wasn't her way.
You have to let go. And again, that's what we call self-care. You have to allow other people to help you. You absolutely have to do that. Okay? And it might not be to the... I had one talk with one lady the other day because she said she had cut everything out and done everything. And I said, well, why are you cutting it out? Let the child cut it out. It's a baby's homework. And if it looks perfect, then they know it's an adult that did it. But then I guess they know that the adults are doing it for the children. And what's a child learning if you're doing all the little bits for the child? No. Give the child the little baby scissors and let them do it at their level. But that's one of the things, thank you, Marlene, we have to be able to let go and not be superwomen. And accept help where help is given, or when we can let go and let the children do what they're supposed to do, let the common law, the husband do what he's supposed to do to help in the home. Everybody has to help at this point, or women are going to burn out. I'm telling you, they're already burning out.
What's the consequence, before we move into like self-care tips, what's the consequence of continuing on this path?
Well, if somebody falls into depression, like one of these ladies falls into depression, then nothing gets done at all. Because depression, people can't eat, can't sleep. They go to bed, they can't sleep. And so after a while, they lock themselves up in their rooms. They don't want to interact with the husbands, with the children. They can't work. So obviously they will have problems with their employment, their employer. So it's critical that before it gets to that point, and remember now, they are worried about keeping their jobs, keeping their children happy, keeping their husbands happy. You're not going to be able to maintain this for too long. And so that's why I really wanted to bring this to the foreground and say, we know you're doing a lot. Now tap on the common law. Tap on your parents, tap on the people around you, build a support system. Could you go to the next slide? I have it on that next slide.
Yes.
It's really important to tap into everybody and grab all the help that you can get. You're not being selfish because you ask for help. You're not. Okay? And the last slide I had was, it's important to set boundaries. Know your limitations. Know what your limitations are and set boundaries around that. No, I can't do anymore. You need to help. I really need to get you to help me.
Okay.
Take pauses during the day. make sure the kids are all settled and take a pause. Go lie down, put your feet up. Just put your feet up and take a break. Divide the labor. We talked about that earlier. Divide the labor. Get help. Get help. Okay. Prioritize your self-care. Your mental health, your spiritual health, your health. All these things are critical if you're going to stay healthy and there to provide for your children and for your family. Find peace in letting things just be. You've done everything you can. Okay, well, I guess something isn't going to get back to the teacher this week. We'll get it done for next week. But
say that again. wait. Say that again out loud, because I think you made some teachers faint and some parents faint too.
No, but seriously, if this parent falls apart, this parent goes into a major depression, then what? You're still not going to get the work. So, and I really think that teachers need to look at how much work they're giving these children. It's the mothers who are at home and sometimes the fathers who are carrying up a lot of this weight. These people were telling me, some lady said, you should see how many of these things we have to do and it has to be turned in by this date. And I have to cook, I have to do my work, my job, I have to clean the house, Girl, get some help. Get those children to help, and you do as much as you can. And then when you've done all that you can, you stop, turn in what you have, and turn it in next week. Call teacher and say, just couldn't do it. Seriously.
I just know that made some parents cringe just now. Some are saying yes, I'm sure.
No, serious. But Marlene, the alternatives are so much more horrendous.
Yeah.
It really is so much more horrendous. And I don't know if anybody's talking about it.
No.
These people a lot of these women are already in depression. Yeah. You're not going to get any more work out of them. Because then all the packets that you want, they're not going to be able to do it. Emotionally and mentally, they're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of the empathy that we need to have towards each other. I think on both sides. I mean, imagine a teacher who's teaching and being a parent too, with all this other responsibility.
Oh man, I don't envy those ladies.
Yeah.
So
it's also, while I know the education of our children is so important, but the need to be empathetic during this time is one that we have talked about quite a bit, and I do hope that people understand how important it is.
I know I look at these ladies and they're already in depression, okay, and they're still trying their best to try to get all this work done.
Yeah.
And Jenny, there's a good and there's a bad. The bad is that these women are indeed depressed, but at the same time, it's good that they are seeking the necessary help. And that's critically important for mental health.
Yes. But they also, on the other end, they have to figure out, and again, Marlene said it well, empathy. I think teachers have to, they know that they have to get work out there to the children because they're not in school. But there's this one woman at home who is being teacher, caregiver, doing her job, house cleaning, doing all these things, or one man at home juggling all these things. One man, one person.
Yeah.
So at some place, somehow, people, the other people who are handing out all this stuff have really got to step back and say, wow, put myself in that person's shoe and see how we can work this out to help that working mother who is struggling to juggle all these things. And I do mean struggling to juggle all these things.
And I mean, when we talk about this example, we're talking like it's one child, but when you have multiple children, it's even more, and multiple grades.
Yes, and that's what these ladies have. One in high school, 2 in primary school, and 1 in the baby level. Oh, and the baby level seems to have the most work, by the way.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, but it's twofold, because it's also knowing you're doing some of the work and you're doing the best that you can. And I think it's also, while I spoke of having empathy towards each other, but being kind to yourself. So the parent at home is saying, well, you know, all these other parents are getting the information in. All these other kids are finishing their work. Am I setting my child back because I'm not able to do it, just literally cannot complete it? What do you say to yourself? How do you get that lady, that mother, to the place where she feels okay with it?
She needs to go see a teacher, because some of the ladies said to me, I don't even know the work. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know the work. I have to go learn the work to be able to teach it to my child. And some of the stuff I've never seen before. So I said, go talk to the teacher and have the teacher explain to you how to do it, or talk to someone who has that knowledge and get the information so you can pass it on to your child. But I think what happens is sometimes the work is being passed out with the expectation that the child knows the work, and a lot of times they don't, right? And the parent doesn't either. And so the parent now, just like you said, is stressed because, oh, my child is falling behind, and they're concerned about that. And that adds added stress to her life, right? Because now she feels like a failure because she doesn't know the material. The girl I saw yesterday, she said, I feel like a sack would just sort of fall down. All the air's been taken out of me.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know the material.
And it's hard. I mean, they're children. They're at home. The TV's there. The toy's there. The tablet's there. And it's schoolwork. And it's discipline. It's, you know, you're trying to tell them, step away from the tablet and the TV and the snack. And sit and do schoolwork in your home, your play space.
Yeah. And she's trying to work.
Yeah.
She is sitting there trying to work on that computer with all this going on around her. She has to get up and leave from there and go check to make sure they're doing the work, and different levels for some of them. You know, go and make sure that they understand or that they're doing the work. And then I'm looking at this and I don't know it myself, right? Imagine. Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stress going on out there, Marlene.
Yeah. So let's move into some of the tips now. So we've identified the challenges.
We've done tips.
Yeah. So set the boundaries. No, but you have some cute little stuff there, like just fitting in exercise or alone time.
Yes.
These things can help a lot in alleviating the stress.
Yeah.
You need to do the exercise. Find time to get in some exercise. Get the kids to join you. Get up together and do some jumping jacks and some running in place and some other things. And do that kind of thing, because that builds up serotonin in your system. And so all the children have a feel good, that feel good feeling after you've done the exercise. And then you've got to do some breathing. And I've taught every time I come on, I do breathing with folks. Do the breathing, do the relaxing breath, and do it with the children, right? So you can incorporate the children into a lot of these things. If you obviously you can't go out and meet friends right now, so you can't go out and be social, but you can do something for yourself. So what can you do for yourself? Take some nice tub baths, put lots of stuff in there and go lie in the tub when the kids have gone to bed. But do something special for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Prioritize self-care. That is like really critical for the ladies. And my last slide, here's to the strong women, man. Our women are so strong. They're juggling all these things and they're being successful. And they're coming to ask for help. They're coming to ask for help when becoming overwhelming. So thank you for all you do. So it's a pity it's only a month that they give the women's work, or to celebrate women. We should be celebrating ourselves and celebrating other women all the time, because they juggle all the time. It's just magnified right now.
Yeah. Now, also, how do you know when it's reached a point that you need a professional?
If you find yourself getting crabby with your children, These ladies were getting really crabby. They were at the point wanting to hit the kids, right? They want to run out of their home. I just had it. I just want to run away, right? I'm not sleeping. I go to bed and I'm not sleeping because I'm thinking of all the things that I have to get done. Yeah. I find that I'm eating too much. I'm snacking on all kinds of things all day long. I'm putting on weight.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, depression can come with eating too much or eating too little, right? If you find yourself just like going to sleep and you're having a problem staying awake, that could be a sign of depression also, right? You lose interest in things that used to be exciting for you. Even your job becomes like a chore. It's no longer fun to do your work. It becomes a chore. You want to just go lock up in your room and never come back up. Yeah. So seek help. Call one of us. There's a bunch of therapists out here. Call one of us and get an appointment and come in. Come talk through it. Okay.
Are you finding new people reaching out to you, or these are people?
A lot of new people. No, these are new people. Wow. Remember they used to say that people in Belize don't come to counseling. Girl, people have found counseling. I think all the people I know out there who do counseling are busy. Yeah. All busy. Okay.
What does that say though about what's going on?
It says we're in a pandemic and we never did know how to deal with this. And being locked up, the curfew, not being able to go out and have socialize with friends, get away from the children, go to work and actually be at work away from home. Home is a place where I'm supposed to relax and spend time with my children, not work, and have the children present doing their work too. So it's all these things, and a combination has made it overwhelming for most people.
Well, it seems as if the stigma of seeking counseling is sort of being diminished a bit. However, Jenny, have you seen that there is an incidence in terms of the aggression of women to their children because of this particular mental illness?
Unfortunately, yes. And domestic violence in general has increased. Yeah. The numbers have gone up. People are stressed.
Oh, okay. That ended off a bit heavier.
We're not talking about
I didn't hear you.
No, I said people are stressed. We are all stressed. And the children, because the children will be children, they're going to be running around. They don't want to be sitting in front of a computer all day long or sitting here doing schoolwork all day, because that's what they're doing, it's all day. And so they nag, and generally a woman would have been tolerant and hug the child and whatnot. She starts with yelling, and sometimes if she tells the children to stop and they're not stopping, then she wants to hit. And it's at that point that they come in and say, I need to come and talk to somebody because I really just want to strangle these children, right? And yeah, it's normal for what we're going through. It's just that we want to make sure that they don't get to the point where they start hitting the children, or that their spouse starts hitting them because he's all too stressed. Right? And if they are, then best place to come is to come and talk with us and sit down. We teach you techniques for coping, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. I know a lot of women appreciate the information that you've shared this morning. One, shedding light on the amount of responsibilities that they are taking on. Two, giving them that comfort of saying it's okay if you can't get everything done. It's okay if you ask for help, and it's okay if you take some time. In fact, you should take some time just for you in the midst of all of it.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't give from an empty place.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you're taking care of yourself so that you can give to your children, you can give to the spouse, you can give to the job.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
And there you have it. That was Brook It Down with Jenny. A salute to our Belizean women and all the work that they're doing.
I mean, women are really superheroes, innately superheroes. And I watch my mom every single day, and I don't know how she gets it done, but it gets done.
Yeah. See, I tend to think we're superheroes too. But no, you know, there's a lot that came out from what we spoke of with Jenny too, and I think that two things are concerning. One, and it's good and bad. It's good that more people are reaching out for help. I think the concerning part is how many people aren't. How many people haven't moved past that barrier of thinking of the stigma that exists for mental health care. And I'm glad that so many have so far. But we know that people out there struggling, and struggling in multiple ways, you know, financially, but also emotionally. So we do hope you reach out for help if you are reaching a point where you feel like you can't find your way.
And just about 2 days ago, it was Social Work Day. And critically important is the work of social workers to our very women who are experiencing these types of situations.
Absolutely. So that was a commemoration there from Jenny, continuing our celebration of Women's Month. And what we're going to do as we close off is that we have our news team, who've been, or reporter Andrea Polanco, who's been working on a series of stories focusing on women who work in different fields. And today, we actually have a story that she did with a very familiar voice for us here at Open Your Eyes. And we're going to the Met Service to find out a bit more about the meteorologist that worked there.
The satellite picture shows mainly fair and dry weather over the country at the moment. However, that is expected to change later today and tomorrow because we have a cold front.
Michelle Augustin is the Deputy Chief Meteorologist and the head of the forecasting team with the National Meteorological Service. She's been working there for more than 20 years.
It gives me great pleasure to be able to inform people about what to expect where the weather is concerned. Because as we all know, the weather is really important for day-to-day activities. So it's really an inspiring job to be able to provide that information to people.
What's it like to work as a meteorologist? What's a typical day like?
Well, a typical day at the Met Service, even when the weather is good, right, there is always work to do. For instance, we have to constantly monitor the weather. So even though it might look like a slow day when it's a bright sunny day, it's actually a day that we still need to perform our duties. We still need to forecast that good weather and as well observe the good weather.
Talk to me what that is like working during the hurricane season.
Yes, right. That is a challenging time, I must admit. But it's also an exciting time because you get to know firsthand what will happen. And I found that it's always a great experience to be able to inform people, to have them to be prepared, to get ready early in the advent of the passage of a storm system. So that for me is a fulfilling part of my career, to be able to inform the general public.
Augustin started working at the National Met Service in the late 90s. At the time, there were just a few women working there. A lot has changed since then, and she says it's all for the better.
It was a male-dominated setting. I can recall it was only about 4 females. There were only about 4 females when I joined the service in 1997. And I'm happy to report that now that has almost tripled. Right? And to add to that, we actually have a full female forecasting team at the moment. Right? We don't have any permanent male forecasters. So that's certainly, you know, an enlightening experience for me to experience that in my tenure here. The meteorology career or the service is a shift system. So you have to work weekends, you have to work holidays, you have to work nights. And then as a woman with a family with children, at the time I had small children, right, it was definitely challenging to balance both my work and my home life, right? So definitely challenging years, but here I am 23 plus years later.
And now she hopes that other women in Belize will take up the call to pursue careers in this field. She says the National Met Service is ripe with opportunities for work, and it's an environment that champions staff development.
The Met Service definitely offers a lot of opportunity to study abroad, because most of the courses that we need to do to advance in the service is only offered outside of Belize. STEM is very important in meteorology, and so I would like to encourage anyone who is interested in maths and physics specifically, right? That's definitely an asset to have. We're still a small staff, and we have so much to do, so much that we would like to do in the future, but because of staffing limitations, we are not able to fulfill some of those, right? But there is an opportunity for women to join the Met Service and to advance.
And the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Reduction wants to see more women like Augustine advance in this field. So, for the ministry, Augustine's story is one of service that needs to be shared.
We might hear them on the radio giving the weather report, but we don't know all that is involved and the sacrifices that these people have done. So we believe that it is time to do that recognition. But we certainly congratulate Mrs. Michelle Augustine, the Deputy Chief Meteorologist.
Augustine didn't have a dream to become a meteorologist, but today she believes that it's not an accident that she ended up in this job.
In starting the service, I didn't have an ambition to say get to this position, right? But with time, I realized that Met grows on you. It's definitely a profession that you learn to love, right? Serving people, you definitely learn to love it. And yes, I was very surprised to be able to reach this position.
Is there anything you would change, or do you feel that you found your purpose in life?
I definitely feel that I found my purpose in life, most definitely. I have no regrets about my time here, none whatsoever. This job is fulfilling, exciting.
Reporting for News 5, I am Andrea Polanco.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Currently, we're using Smart Elite VoIP calling plan. We use it interbranch, we use it to call outside, and we also use it to call international. It's far cheaper than what we used to have before. Our equipment are new, PBX box is new. So the PBX is very good because I can call to my Sartaneja branch, I can call to my Kikaka branch, I can call to San Pedro branch, and there's no cost using the PBS. Actually right now, since we're in different locations, I can call main office from where I am at a no cost using the PBX system. I would recommend it, sure I would, especially the big enterprises who has a lot of employees. There's a lot of reduction in costs, 50% of saving. Put that on a year, it's a lot of money that we're saving. Money that we could return to our members, since we give back dividend to our members.
Visit our showroom or call 670-6710 to find out how Smart's corporate plan and PBX systems can benefit your business. Consultation is free.
Ubuntu. I am because we are. Strengthening social solidarity and global connectedness. Ubuntu is the theme of World Social Work Month. World Social Work Month recognizes the profession of social work and highlights the important role social workers play in their communities. Social workers are essential and are the unsung heroes. As social workers, we strive to empower those from all walks of life. Our tools are compassion, service, and determination. Our armor is a love for humanity. With persistence in the face of insurmountable odds, we help clients access services and systems to achieve their goals. No matter the circumstances, we jump into the fray Ubuntu. As we celebrate World Social Work Day on March 16th, the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs and the Government of Belize thank all social workers for their compassion, sacrifice, and dedication to service.
Congratulations to our Belikin Poppers Topper winners today. Continue popping those toppers off of Belikin for a chance to win free beer, $20, $100, or $1,000. Papa Stopper!
Belikin, the beer of Belize.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us, then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something, the Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
We're back, and we're moving into our second conversation for today. As we said, we've spent this week learning so much about the importance of protecting our forests in Belize. And today we're continuing with our conversations as we talk about forest protection at the community level. These segments are, of course, sponsored by Red Plus through funding from the World Bank. And today we are going to be talking to Florencia Guerra, who is the forest officer at the Forest Department. We also have Gustavo Requena, who is the Community Outreach and Livelihoods Director at Yashe, and Michael Somerville, who is the Environmental and Social Expert at Red Plus Belize. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, and we are definitely excited to jump into this discussion. It's definitely a field that I love to have discourse about. So I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on the Red Plus project and also the other initiatives that the Yashe as well as the Forest Department is doing in terms of maintaining our forest spaces and ensuring the development of our spaces in a more sustainable way. So I want to start off by asking Michael if he could explain just a bit about a brief synopsis of the Red Plus program as well as some of the target communities that the Red Plus is carrying out its mandates.
Yes, hello again, everybody. Well, Red Plus just basically the abbreviation, stands for reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. And the plus represents the role of conservation, sustainable forest management, and carbon stock enhancement. Red Plus basically is, in a nutshell, it's Belize's response to climate change, and the Red Plus project is being implemented throughout the entire country of Belize. So we work with stakeholders from the Toledo district to the Corazal district, so countrywide.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk to, I want to get Gustavo into the conversation as we get started. Gustavo, Yashe has been doing some wonderful things down south, and it's not just, I think it's such a shining example of how development and sustainable use of wildlife can be carried out in addition to preserving species. So give us a bit of a synopsis there.
All right, thanks, Marlene. So the Yashe is a community-based organization that works in the Toledo district, but has gradually been expanding its reach nationally. And we work in the Maya Golden landscape, which is a mosaic of farmlands, communities, and protected areas. And that gives us a unique opportunity to be able to promote and carry out within these communities and protected areas sustainable practices that ensure that livelihoods are improved while maintaining the integrity of our protected areas. I think importantly is that it is creating a paradigm shift in the way how the country views protected areas, in that it allows for them to no longer be viewed as just locked up areas where people are not allowed to go. Yeah. Instead, it creates opportunities like the agroforestry concession in Maya Mountain North.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I wanted to follow up on that question, and if Mr. Somerville could highlight really and truly what is the Red Plus doing in terms of promoting sustainable farming practices, whether it be agroforestry or silvipastoral practices within these communities. What alternative ways of farming is being promoted through the Red Plus project?
So,
okay, yeah, Mr. Somerville?
Yes. Well, I was going to touch a little bit more on how climate change is affecting, we believe climate change is affecting indigenous people and local communities, but yeah. to get to the nitty-gritty, maybe Mr. Gustavo would better be able to answer those, no?
Yeah.
But if you'll allow me, I just want to say that indigenous and local communities, they tend to have a closer relationship and dependence on forests and other natural resources and the environment than you would say the average person. And I am sure I am correct in saying that. In general, these groups face a lot of challenges, and climate change, we believe, will make all of these situations worse. So we can basically say that climate change therefore poses threats and dangers to the survival of indigenous and local communities worldwide, right. Even though indigenous and local people might be contributing the least to the overall greenhouse gas emissions.
Right.
Some of the sensitive, some of the things that indigenous and local communities are particularly sensitive to are example floods, droughts that may result in fires that could replace forests with savannas, affecting their livelihoods. They may suffer from heat waves, wildfires, as I said earlier, other natural causes like hurricanes, and even a change in the dynamic of the species and availability of resources that they traditionally use as food sources.
Yeah.
I want to get Ms. Florencia in the discussion as well. We've seen over the years that there has been the deforestation. We've seen deforestation happening at a very rapid rate in the north, especially in areas such as Little Belize going up towards Shipstern Reserve. How is it that the Forest Department is trying to mitigate the rate of deforestation, considering that there is almost like a contradiction in the law which states that developed land has to be cleared in order to retain ownership? So how is it that the Forest Department is going about mitigating these types of unsustainable practices?
Yes, right. That was a very good question. One initiative that I would like to highlight that the Forest Department has been doing over the years to mitigate the impact of deforestation is basically kind of the advocating for sustainable forest management, because logging is the timber industry is a very lucrative industry in the country of Belize. And what we try to advocate, especially with the communities who border forests, that have bordering forests, is that you can sustainably harvest timber from your forest without going to the extent of deforestation. So one way to do that is to have best practices and to practice sustainable forest management. Right now we have 3 communities in the Toledo district, Boom Creek, Santa Teresa, and Conejo Creek, who are very much involved in the sustainable forest management, and they actually have long-term licenses for their forests. So what this means is that these communities are able to extract timber from their forests, but not to the extent that it would lead to this massive extent of deforestation, like what you mentioned is happening in the north.
Yeah.
And what we've seen is that this is actually something that is helpful for them, and they see the need for it. And so much so that some of the outcomes from these communities is that the communities themselves, they're involved in projects within their own community. They are, for example, Conejo Creek, they were able to give fence posts for their school. They were able to assist in the renovation of their buildings within their own community.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it provides sort of income for these villagers, and they see how they can get what they need from the forest without needing or having it unsustainable to the extent that they would eventually.
For some reason, yeah, great. So one of the things I think I hear very clearly from you is how you're working in being able to look at some of the vulnerabilities that exist. But the key part here is that when you talk about deforestation, or when you talk about sustainable use of the land, you also, it's a people issue. You're talking about getting people who perhaps are accustomed to habits or are using land for development in ways that have been passed on by tradition, or just what makes more financial sense for them. And so let's get Gustavo back in to talk about some of the ways that, because you are also working so closely with communities, talk to us about some of the ways that you have found you can get the community engaged and get them to convert practices into more sustainable manners.
Yes, Marlene, thank you. So the agroforestry concession actually started in 2015. That is when we got into a partnership with Trio Farmers Cacao Growers Association and the Forestry Department, which allowed them to have access to 936 acres in Maya Mountain North Forest Reserve. Those 936 acres have been divided into 3 main zones, which are your annual crops area, the cacao-based agroforestry area, and the conservation zone.
Yeah.
All of this is geared towards ensuring that within the concession, sustainable practices are being implemented, and at the same time, improving people's livelihoods. Because at the end of the day, that is what the goal should be. The goal should be that protected areas should help to improve the livelihoods of our communities, and this access has also allowed for a diversification of other products, cacao being one of them. But I think that equally important is the whole production of honey within the Maya Mountain North Forest Reserve. All of these things are happening in a regulated manner with a concession agreement and conservation agreement that are in place to ensure that the practices are being done sustainably, so that those resources are going to be there for the present and future generations.
Yeah. I want to follow up on the Red Plus project because
yes, Brighton. I was going to say if you will allow me to contribute a bit to what Gustavo just mentioned.
Certainly.
We recognize that indigenous and local people are vital to the many ecosystems that inhabit their lands and territories, right? For example, the Maya occupy an area of land that has the potential to contribute to achieving the Red Plus goal, which is mitigating climate change for Belize.
Yeah.
And yes, Marlene alluded to it earlier. Indigenous knowledge practices, their relationship with the land, local people's relationship with the land, often contribute greatly to biodiversity conservation and can help, we believe, in finding solutions how society at large can cope with climate change. So indigenous and local knowledge must therefore be at the center of the climate change discussion.
Absolutely.
And that is why we are working intimately with local people and indigenous.
Community engagement is always important.
And you said something critically important just now. It's the impact that the Red Plus project, working in conjunction with other organizations to achieve its mandates, particularly biodiversity conservation. But I want to know, within the ministry itself, and I know that the Red Plus is a project of its own, how is the Red Plus project continuing the efforts of, for example, the Biodiversity Finance Initiative, and how are you synchronizing your mandates within the Red Plus and supporting the initiatives of that next project to achieve the overall mandates of the ministry?
Well, good question, Brighton. We work along with the National Climate Change Office through the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management is the office that has been tasked with the overseeing of the Red Plus project. And the National Climate Change Office works closely with our sister agencies. For example, the Forest Department is here with us today, right? We also work with the Land Department, the Agriculture Department. We work with other agencies like Yashche, with the Friends for Conservation and Development. So we work with all these key stakeholders that we believe will contribute towards mitigating, towards the main goal of mitigating climate change in Belize.
And that's a great point to get Florencia back into the conversation here, because it's a two-pronged approach, I imagine. You're working with communities, one, I guess, to see the value of the forestry that we do have, and at the same time kind of building awareness of why we have to grow and expand and not move towards deforestation. How do you go about that? What's the approach?
So what we do is we basically understand that these communities, especially the ones that border the forest, they rely heavily on the forest. And we're not here to say, you can't get what you need from the forest, or the forest has to be 100% protected. We understand that people rely on the forest for food, for what they need for construction of their homes, for medicine and other uses. So what we try to advocate for them and push forward is that you can get what you need from the forest, but you can't do it in a way that you don't stay without any forest to depend on. And so another initiative that we've done with this project is that in the Baga Forest Reserve, where there has been some farmers that are in the area, is that there was possibility in the sense that they were taught that they can have social things of agriculture, so they can make the most of the land that they are already using without the need to further the forest or cut down the trees around them. So then that in a way, we show that yes, you can get the trees, but then you don't need to overextend yourself to the extent that you would require to the forest larger time to get the trees from a smaller area. And so I think that is one way that we can work with communities and try not to have them feel restricted that we're telling them that no, you can't touch the forest. You're coming in to kind of have a balance between them.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also something maybe if we go back to Gustavo and talk about your experience again. One of the things, especially in Mayan communities, that Yashe tried to work along with the communities was looking at some, like things like slash and burn. Looking at how the forest fires can be contained. And again, you go back to it. So you have practices that are done, but there are always things that you can do to tweak through education and awareness to get people to understand why change is important. Tell us a bit about it from that point of view, Gustavo.
Thanks, Marlene. And I think that is a very important point that you make, because really what is happening here, the efforts of Yashe is towards behavioral change to ensure a more sustainable use of the resources that the communities have.
Yeah.
And you're right. Slash and burn is a part of the tradition in the Maya communities. However, we realize that there are alternatives that can be used to ensure that, one, if slash and burn is going to be used, then it's used in a manner that we don't have escape fires. And two, we also provide alternatives such as the use of cover crops, which would allow for a slash and mulch system versus a slash and burn system.
Wait. So I'm not a farmer. What do you mean by, did you say slash and mud?
Slash and mulch.
Mulch. What does that mean?
So I am going to use one of the examples of the cover crops that we are promoting in the Maya Golden landscape to illustrate that example. So there is Inga edulis, leguminous plant that can be used for the slash and mulch system. The Inga trees are planted in rows, and then after 2 years they are coppiced. The entire top is removed. All of that foliage is chopped within those rows of Inga, and then the farmers plant their crops in there, whether it be corn, beans, vegetables, or other root crops. The whole idea here is that you are trying to ensure that you have soil cover at all times to ensure that there is a healthy soil biodiversity, which will in turn lead to increased yields, because you have the conservation of soil moisture, and all of these things are key to ensuring that you have high yields. And so we really have 22 plots in the Maya Golden landscape that can be used as demonstration areas where these cover crops are actually improving yields for our farmers. And because they have invested in establishing these plots, then slash and burn is not an option on their farm anymore. The whole idea here, I think, is to create the awareness and the behavioral change within our communities to adopt more sustainable practices. And behavioral change is a slow process, and I'm glad that we are seeing those changes happening within our communities where we work. In essence, what we want is to continue promoting the vision of Yashe, which is harmony between nature and human development for the benefit of both. And through these sustainable practices, we're able to accomplish that.
I certainly want to tap into something that you've said. What has the buying been like by buffer communities in particular that are surrounding the protected areas in terms of adapting these sustainable practices and implementing them?
There is buy-in, and I will applaud the community members and communities where we work for being very open and being willing to embrace new technologies, because in essence what happens is that the approach that we use at Yashe is one that is called the Farmer Field School methodology, where our trainings are always done in the field. Our farmers have interaction with fellow farmers. We organize field visits and exchange visits to model farms. And I will tell you, there is, in my opinion, no better way to get a farmer to engage or adopt a new practice than by taking them to actually see that practice in a model farm. and then they can have that interaction with their peers, and you can see how that shift happens whenever they're able to see, you know what? It's not just an extension officer that is telling me that slash and burn there is an alternative to slash and burn, but my colleague, a farmer, is telling me that. So those are valuable tools that we tap into to see how it is that our farmers, adapt them. And certainly we have cacao agroforestry farms, we have beekeepers, we have Inga alley cropping demonstration plots, all of these right within these communities. And that, I will say, is evidence that our communities are adapting. They are willing to adopt to more sustainable practices, to increase their yields while conserving their forests that surround the communities, because they understand the benefit of the forests for their livelihoods.
And so it becomes a practice of not just telling me it's going to work, it's showing me that it works. And this,
precisely.
Yeah. So I think this is also something that can expand beyond just the communities that live in rural areas. How do you take this type of practice and this type of knowledge and expand it beyond? We know there is a push to create more green spaces, even in urban areas. Backyard gardening is something that's being encouraged all throughout. In other words, I don't have to have a full-fledged forest in my backyard, but I can try to introduce some green spaces.
Well, I think that the opportunity exists for small scale of what we're doing to be taken into the urban settlements. I am sure that with the support from Minister of Agriculture and other key players in this whole idea of sustainable development of Belize, we can partner. In fact, we are open to partnership to be able to use these best practices and success stories to be able to roll it out to the rest of the country, because really, like was alluded to earlier, the indigenous people of the Toledo district have been very good stewards of the forest. And so when you look at the map of Belize, you can actually see that Belize really has that green spot in the Toledo district and the Stan Creek district. So these, I think, are evidence that we can roll out, even in a smaller scale, these good practices into the urban settlements.
Yeah. And I guess Michael and Florencia,
Yes, sorry, Marlene, I was going to say that Gustavo alluded to demonstration activities, and yes, the phase 2 for the Red Plus will actually encompass implementation of demonstration activities. Nice. So for this phase 1, the readiness phase, we are putting together all the capacity building and the strategies and action plans together, so that when we move to phase 2, we see implementation of these things. So yes, we start with a little demonstration in one area, and of course it can be expanded to the entire country of Belize. From my perspective, Red Plus is for Belize, for the entire country. Yes.
Yeah. And there's more awareness too. You know, as we talk about climate change, as we start to understand more about the things that are necessary for our survival, we make those adjustments. But it's being able to find the best way to connect. As we said before, you say community level, but just connect people to people.
That's right.
Yeah. And Florencia, maybe if you could just talk a bit about some of the ways or different communities that you are working in right now, kind of building that community engagement.
Yes, as I had mentioned, the 3 communities down south with the sustainable forest management practices, you know, Santa Teresa, Boom Creek, and Conejo Creek. But I mean, apart from that, just this whole International Day of the Forest, the theme being forest restoration, one of the initiatives that we as a department are doing is, so as you had mentioned, it's not just the rural communities, but also the urban spaces that would, you know, we would want to see this greener spaces, is why we are pushing for the initiative of improving greener spaces within our own towns and cities. So this is an initiative that the Forest Department has been doing since 2012, and we're continuing it this year. So in different towns and cities throughout next week. And for the rest of the month, the Forest Department will be collaborating with the councils to do tree planting, to kind of bring back, the spotlight on having these greener spaces within, as you had mentioned, the urban communities, and not just restricted to the rural communities down south or those that are bordering the forest. So I think that is one good way that we as the department are sort of, advocating for, greener spaces within the urban communities and our cities and towns.
I wanna sort of close down the discussion with a final question to Mr. Somerville. Can you explain to us basically, I understand that there are different phases within, or different components within the REDD+ project. Can you explain about the compensation aspect, where if the project is implemented, there is some sort of revenue generation from the project?
Well, yeah, this is, what I can say is that is still in its evolution. I know online there are different reports that indicate that Belize's forest is storing X amount of carbon, which equates to based on the current trading of credit, equates to a certain amount of money. That information and that data is still in its evolution. Yeah. Well, I just want to say that we are working with the local communities, indigenous people, working with stakeholders on a whole to engage them in how the entire country can benefit. So that is yet to come, and we will put the mechanism in place to roll that out.
And in the meantime, if we have more green spaces building, that puts us in an even better situation, right?
That's right.
Well, this has been really interesting. And I want to say thank you to Florentia, Gustavo, and Michael for joining us this morning, talking about how we look at forest protection, but from the community level. Thank you for sharing what you have been doing. And of course, stay safe. All right. And that was, of course, another segment brought to you by REDD+ with funding from the World Bank. And we'll continue exploring this topic even more. So do look forward to more from us. We're going to go ahead, though, and take a break. And when we come back, Brighton, I think this is your area, the talking. You are the you are the athlete, so you can head up the whole exercise thing coming up.
Definitely.
All right. I'm sure Karen Rosita is going to try to get you involved. We have Noelle and AJ joining us again because it is still Child Stimulation Month, and we know that the kids are at home eating junk food, sitting in front of the TV. Karen Rosita is going to give you some tips, parents, on how to get them moving and eating more nutritious. That's coming up in a few.
Our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us. Then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something. The Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. Stronger together. The Belize Bank. Our country. Your bank.
Passengers traveling to the U.S. must present a negative COVID test or a documentation of having recovered from COVID-19 to travel to the U.S. In light of this, Maya, in partnership with Caring Hands Clinic, have established testing centers in all their municipal airports. Caring Hands Antigen Test Center is operational in San Pedro, Belize City, Dangrega, Placencia, and Hopkins. These testing facilities are staffed by licensed healthcare professionals, including doctors, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. Testing is done using Abbott Rapid Test devices that are FDA approved and made in the USA. The service is safe, fast, affordable, and the close proximity of the centers makes them convenient. Walk-ins are welcomed, but appointments are encouraged. If you would like to make an appointment, please feel free to do so at Make your appointment, get tested, and in 15 minutes, you can get back to your vacation.
Hello. Okay, sure, I'll be there. Hello?
Hi, Mommy. When are you coming home? I really miss you.
Hearing the voice of our loved ones can always lift our spirits and make us feel whole again. With Smart's Twice as Nice promotion, prepaid customers who make 5 minutes worth of national calls on Sundays can enjoy 50% off, top double on all national calls for the rest of the day. Call your loved ones and enjoy half off all day long. Smart, bringing people together.
Lord, patience with them people out here. I want to talk to the one who sit on the street, they hold their mask, they dangle it from their hand like this, or they put their mask on their chin like that, or put it round their neck like so. Or worse, they one where like they hang it from their neck like that chain. Then when they see the police they come, they hurry put the mask on their face. You don't understand the harm you do to yourself. And not only to you, to other people too. If you want to be infected with the COVID-19 virus, go through. But you have to understand, all of we are affected by your full action. Not just you. People like say they can't take the mask. What do you think better? Deal with the mask for a little while or end up in a hospital? If somebody not live in the same house with you, you have to wear a mask when you're there with them. Even if they're your family or your company, you still need to wear the mask. Everybody you meet could have COVID-19. When you wear the mask the correct way, if you cover your whole nose, your whole mouth, and your chin, that's how we will protect all our way.
A message from the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, the European Union, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Ubuntu. I am because we are. Strengthening social solidarity and global connectedness. Ubuntu is the theme of World Social Work Month. World Social Work Month recognizes the profession of social work and highlights the important role social workers play in their communities. Social workers are essential and are the unsung heroes. As social workers, we strive to empower those from all walks of life. Our tools are compassion, service, and determination. Our armor is a love for humanity. With persistence in the face of insurmountable odds, we help clients access services and systems to achieve their goals. No matter the circumstances, we jump into the fray Ubuntu. As we celebrate World Social Work Day on March 16th, the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs, and the Government of Belize thank all social workers for their compassion, sacrifice, and dedication to service.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Foltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Foltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Congratulations to our Belikin Papa's Topper winners to date. Continue popping those toppers out of Belikin for a chance to win free beer, $20, $100, or $1,000. Papa Stopper!
Belikin, the beer of Belize.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we are back, and we want to say, of course, we're moving into our third segment for today.
Yeah, and we're going to do some exercise. We have Miss Karen Rosita in today, who is going to be leading the kids, AJ that is, and Noelle, with some exercise this morning. So we're definitely excited to get moving, get the kids up, and it's something that you could do from home with the kids as well. So, yeah.
Welcome back, Noelle and AJ. Okay, are you guys ready for some exercise?
Yep.
All right, and Karen, tell us the idea behind this workout today.
Well, good morning. Everyone knows me. The idea behind this is to get kids moving. Due to the pandemic and all that, they've been at home, they've been cooking, baking, eating, doing art, but not exercising. So today is just to show the kids and the mommies a few things you can do, maybe 15, 20 minutes to keep you healthy and well. Okay, I want to big up Holy Redeemer too, because they both Standard 3, Standard 2, Holy Redeemer guys. Big up Miss Rhonda Major, who is my friend too from Holy Redeemer, and all these good people. Thank you for being here. I had the chance to kind of talk to them before, and girl, I kind of intimidated because they were jumping around out there.
Well, let me tell you this. I know this much about Noelle and AJ. You don't need us. They will guide you. All right, guys? Ready for exercise?
Okay, so just remember that we move to the tune. I play the music, and you both know the songs, right? Yeah. When I said soca, she's like, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, march in place. Let's go. 1, just until the music starts. Start stretching. 5, 4, you can watch yourselves. 3, 2, I know I tend to look right and left. And 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, musica. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. AJ, watch yourself. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's, your feet goes together. So, what you always try to do, kids and people at home, is to breathe, right? Always breathe. And not because we're in front of the camera, we should be shy. Why? Why? We know we all look good, right? So here the beat. Ready. 5. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Up, front, out, up, front, and go. Up, front. 1, 2. You know this song. 3. Let's go. AJ. Up, front, out, up, front, out, up. I got competition right now. Out, up, front. 1. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. 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 All right. Let's go the waist. This is for 1, 2. Hold it down here, Jace. Cement it down. 4, 5, 6. Bend your knees. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4. You're singing? I got competition. 4, 3, 2. All right. So what we are doing? We are bend the knees. Open up, AJ, and we are punch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are doing 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this one is literally a standing abdominal exercise, right? And right leg back. Ready? Right leg, and you go. Up, balance, tip, go, and ready. 1, 2, watch right down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 4, hold up the knee. 3, 2, 1, and dance it out. Remember, we have to have fun. 1, aha, you could dance so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and next leg. Step back, the left, and remember it's a standing crunch, right? And go. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The first shuffle of the day. Ready? We're gonna get down and run. 10, 9, let's go. 8, let's go. 7, 6, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. High heel violated with 1, 2, 3. All right, now we march and we catch your breath. Yes, right? So open circle, open the diaphragm. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. 6, 7. Keep their feet moving. 8, 9, 10. Ready? 3. Remember what we did backwards? We do that. Forward and together. Forward. All right. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move your arms. 7. Let's go. 8, 9, 10, 5. Great, guys. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shuffle. 10. Let's go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Then we breathe. And next leg. Next leg. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Move the arms. 4, 5. Let's go here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right. Ready? Open. Look at yourself. 1. Bend the knees. 2, 3, 4. Put it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want 10, 5, 4. The waist. 3, 2, 1, 5. Then you dance out to have fun, right? 3. What the whole issue for dance, mommy? Alrighty, we're gonna do the max skip. And remember, guys, if you're a mama or dad and you're heavier, you can max skip. But we skip, right? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You the skunk. 7 to 1 foot skunk. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And when you finish that, you'll breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. One leg. Go. Then kick. 2, 3, 4. Tuck it in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. And ready before we go to the open. This is for your quads. This is like when you play volleyball. This is to strengthen your legs. Right? And you, let's sport you play. You play catch. Huh? All right, so ready? Open up. 1. This is to strengthen the quads, right? Go down. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, right? 5. Breathe. This is when you get up. Straighten your back. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, march it out. The next leg. Ready? Talk. Up. The next leg, right? Which leg did you use first? Right, so you use left, right? Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Very good. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you march and breathe. 3, 2, 1. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna pick up with weights. Remember, we have weights, right? Go get your weights. Guys, remember, you don't have to have kids use dumbbells, but they can use just resistance. These are 12 ounces each. So then when you're done, you could drink it, right? Ready? Well, it's hot. Ready? Squeeze. So biceps. Ready? Hold it down. Lock it. And ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here come join the ladies up there. 9, 10. Good. 11. Yes. 12, 13. Bend the knees, baby. 15, 16, 15. Oh, 15, 15. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Hold it. Up. More abs. More abs. Ready? 3. Right leg. Let's go. 1. Left. 3, 4, 5. Push it out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. It's like you're beating a drum. Biceps, triceps. 2. Yes. 3. He gets in it. No. 4, 5, 6, 7. See there? 8, 9, 10, 5, 4. It's 15, right? 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it down and push. Push. Bend your back. Bend your back. 1, 2. Yes. 3. Yes. 4, 5. I think I want to lose my job. 6, 7. I got a lot more years than me. 5, 6. Let's go. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5. Let's go. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Hold up your weight. Flash water. Let's do this. Off a shoulder, right? And top. Ready? Hold it good. So we don't want the water to knock out the cameraman. 3, 1, 2. See that? 3, 4. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a fun to 11, 12, 13, 14, and hold. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? Cardio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got our fancy tennis all over with the 13, 14, 15. All right. Ready? Hold the weight. Back of the hand in front. Ready? 1, 1. See? Come bend over. You stop it here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 8, 9, 10, 11. Final leg. Yeah, you smile fine. You 13. Hold it. Hold it. You feel it, right? Squeeze. Bend over. Bend over. Bend over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March. You know what is coming up, right? Jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you can do this, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5. Under the jump for me. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Check this out. Bend, bend to your knee. And we have bicep curls. Remember those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you smile because it's nice. 7, 8, 9, 10. Fun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And turn it. These are, check this out. Just the elbow, right? Just the elbow. No shoulders, right? Go. 1. Bend your back here, Jay. 2, 3. Watch it. 4. Bend the elbow. 4, 5. Yes. 6. Bend the elbow. 7, 8. Bend the elbow, babe. 9, 10. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. 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 Lean forward. Hold. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. 2. Another get there. 3, Ready? All right. Know this song, know where I work. Ready? Open up. Check it out. Now do this, right? 1, 2. One leg. 3, 4. Watch it. 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. Yes. 13. One leg. 14, 15. March. Dance. Do whatever. Just don't stop. 5, 4, 3, 2. Next side. What? Now new thing I'm gonna try it. So ready? Left. You're going right. Left hand. Go. 1. It's a snack. 2. When I shouldn't eat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Up. Stand straight like a soldier. Feet together. And you are just, this is for the obliques. You know when mommy and daddy say, mother's me and this thing won't go down. Show them what to do. Come. And right. Stiffen yourself. And left. Now we double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it close to the body. 5. But she the last one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. More legs. Bunch. You staying? Let's go. Bounce. Ready? You know that sound? Up. Waist, toes, waist. 3. Waist, toes, waist. 4. 5. Open. No stop. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 5. I don't knock the car over. 3, 2, and hold. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? Remember, guys, if you're watching at home, most important part to tone is your core. So between, yeah and yeah, right? 3, 2, 1, 3. Ready? Open up. So we are punch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees. 6, 7, yes. 8, what? 9, 10. And then we'll show the boy for punch in it. Punch. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe. 5, 4. Remember, no matter what, you have to drink water, right? Eat your vegetables every day. 3, 2, 1. Ready? Do you think they get heavy? No, true? Hold. You say, I know, right? Say, hand the hurt. Hold it down. Up. You open a little bit like you will play football. Inner thighs, right? Ready? Set. Go. Right. 1, 2, 3. See there? Open up. 4, 5, 6. Inner thighs. 7. No, not complain about that. Help to work it. 9, 10, 11. 2 foot. 12, 13, 14, 15. Right. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have put this in front of us. Now the work begins. Come down. Ready? All we have to do are jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. Ready? Pick up your weights. Heart rate high. Ready? So we just this for the shoulders, right? Let's go. Press it. Go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. Ready? Take this one. Up. Way back. When you go back, you bend. You like this one? Me too, girl. Okay, make your rest. Ready? Start the box. Ready? Then you bend your knees slightly. Go. 1. Bend your knees. 2. My girl says she's a yogi. She do yoga. I wouldn't understand, girl, because I don't know what I'm liking. 3. But maybe you could teach me. 4. 5. See, here, easy. Forearms, deltoids, triceps, knees, quads, up and shan. 3, 2, 1. Ready. Then what is song? I guess. Ready? Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We heard you, right? Ina. 17. Let's go. 18, 19, 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and ready. Cardio. Hold your weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March. 3, 2, 1. All right. March.
Show me, Noel. Yeah.
Yes. No, push out the weight too, not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You ready for the shuffle? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Marlene. Yeah, brother. Right
Because I work.
1.
All right. So how are you guys feeling?
How you feel?
Good.
Is that only thing the way to get heavy?
Definitely feel tired.
Huh?
Definitely feel tired.
You feel tired, right?
Yeah.
Because of the resistance.
Yeah.
But that's why even if it's just a bag of water or a bottle, it will grow your muscles.
Yeah.
The biceps, the triceps, the delts, right? Yes, look there. Look at you watch there, right? Better to wash dishes.
Did the water get heavy after a period of time?
Yes.
It got heavy?
That's what she said. She's like, it's heavy, right? I think my boy I'm ready for throw it down. Yeah, so
I want to hear, was that fun?
Yes. And what I'm surprised about is that they really kept up.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for kids, no matter if they're small or big, for really do just 15 minutes of aerobics.
Yeah.
Right? You did good. You tired? All right. So, mommy, you here one fruit drink. You tired? So, how much time do we have? That's it?
We're wrapping up now, but I want us to give some advice to parents too, if they're at home.
Yes.
About getting people involved and also making them eat healthier too.
Right, because this is easy. It's all about portions. So the rule of thumb is you have a plate, right? 9 inches. Well, some Belizeans like the 12-inch one, but 9. Half of the plate needs to be fruits and vegetables. Pack up, not leave it. Quarter of the plate, meat. You know, a chicken leg or a breast and so. And the next quarter of the plate, like potato or brown rice or something like that. So you can't have the plate full of rice and then a little bit of vegetables. Do you eat vegetables?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
He's a chef, Karen.
Yes, so you better eat broccoli and all. Do you like vegetables? And I could say that, right? Because one thing you all know, if your kids aren't eating well or you're not getting vitamins, you all know that maybe the eyes not as clear, the skin might get scaly, right? And remember, guys, it's like 8 oranges for $1. You could literally take your only hand, clean the orange good, put a little bit of Clorox, and squeeze your own orange juice. You don't need to buy nothing, right? And that's good work. And you just strengthen up, right?
What's your favorite healthy snack?
I say apple.
Apple? And for you?
Grapes.
Grapes. Why then for them apple better work long. How about banana and orange and papaya? You like papaya?
I like papaya.
You like papaya? No. Why? It's yucky? It's
mushy?
Soft? Mushy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you like bananas?
Bananas?
Yes.
Oh, good. So let's say you don't want to eat it like that. You can add milk, 2%, or almond milk, or some kind of milk, and make a nice shake. You're both, you can cook, right?
Yeah.
So it's just putting it in the blender and pressing it.
Yeah.
But guys, and for folks at home, remember that you are your child's mother or the father. You can't give them pick $5 and say, go to school. And then they buy 2 takis and one ideal. Right? How easy it is to make a bean sandwich or an egg sandwich. After they start eating it a couple of days, they realize, hey, then let them save that money, that $5 a day for something. Yeah. Like a new game or a, I don't know what kids into nowadays. What do you like?
Her new mixer. She wanted a new mixer.
Mixer, right? So you could save that money. You don't need to take money to school. You carry money to school? No, you take money to school?
I take
and what do you buy?
I normally buy junk food.
She's being honest, right? So she now, because that's what kids like. But what about not giving them money? I said, make we save this for a mixer or whatever you want, right? And then give them their food, because snack in Belize, how much is it? 6 or 8 bananas for $1, right? So you could make banana cake, banana bread, banana pudding, banana muffins, banana shake, right?
And it will still taste
And then before we go, because we got out of time quick, right? But before we go, remember the most important thing a day is water, right? So without water, your body is literally about 50 to 65% water. So if you don't drink water, and not study when it's about 8 glasses, that is too little bit, right? You need to drink at least 12 glasses of water a day. Or, let me put it into perspective, 3 at the 150 water bottle, 3 liters. Okay. So, and you drink it over time. You like water? And mommies that is watching you, I know that your kids may be dehydrated because you have said the lips dry, right? The face dry. No, she well hydrated. She was doing jumping.
Miss Karen, how many minutes would you recommend for the day doing exercise?
Maybe 2 15-minute segments, or 30 minutes, or why not just take them out for a walk? Because I know most people know they work from home, right? So I asked my little friend, you like when mommy work from home or work from work? He said work from work. So, but then when you come home, you need to exercise too. The Marion Jones is there, it's safe. You know from BTL Park to Baby Lighthouse is safe. Take your kids, man. I see people walking, but me not see kids, right? So it's your responsibility to make sure your kids eat well and they exercise often. That's part of what we call physical wellness.
And if anything else, you put on some good music and you have a dance party, right, AJ? Yep. AJ wanted to dance the whole while.
Yes. And as I started, I was cueing them with the music. She's like, I know that song. So there you go. Every Belizean loves soca, right? And so that's it. If not, you could put your phone in your little bag and you walk. Yeah. But you need, let's be serious, you need to do something with your kids every day, right? She don't like yoga and he like football. So why not, right? Bring a ball and kick it around.
So we want to thank Miss Karen for coming in this morning and sharing some nutrition tips, as well as getting physical with the kids this morning and sharing with you at home how is it that you could work with your kids to get them in better physical shape. Critically important. So thank you, and when we return from our break, we'll be having our wrap-up.
Watch out!
Go down to the ground, go down, baby, down to the ground, go down, my girl.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us, then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something, the Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Hello. Okay, sure, I'll be there.
Hello? Hi, Mommy. When are you coming home? I really miss you.
Hearing the voice of our loved ones can always lift our spirits and make us feel whole again. With Smart's Twice as Nice promotion, prepaid customers who make 5 minutes worth of national calls on Sundays can enjoy 50% off. Top double on all national calls for the rest of the day. Call your loved ones and enjoy half off all day long. Smart, bringing people together.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Ubuntu. I am because we are. Strengthening social solidarity and global connectedness. Ubuntu is the theme of World Social Work Month. World Social Work Month recognizes the profession of social work and highlights the important role social workers play in their communities. Social workers are essential and are the unsung heroes. As social workers, we strive to empower those from all walks of life. Our tools are compassion, service, and determination. Our armor is a love for humanity. With persistence in the face of insurmountable odds, we help clients access services and systems to achieve their goals. No matter the circumstances, we jump into the fray Ubuntu. As we celebrate World Social Work Day on March 16th, the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs and the Government of Belize thank all social workers for their compassion, sacrifice, and dedication to service. And we're back.
Yeah, we just had some physical activities accomplished for this morning. It was definitely fun.
I know. Listen, you know, Karen was here to teach the kids how to exercise, and literally all the adults in the room were dancing and exercising along with her. That's just the energy that she provides. But we do hope that parents at home feel encouraged to put on some music and do some exercise along with the kids. It's really good for them, it's good for you, and it's not just physical health, it's good for your mental health as well. I feel so much more energetic.
Absolutely. We want to thank this morning Jenny, Broke It Down with Jenny. She discussed, it's Women's Month, and we want to celebrate our women. And she discussed some of the issues that women face, but also the importance of releasing and just letting go and giving yourself that break and self-care that's necessary for your growth and development.
That's right. Do listen up, ladies, and don't be afraid to ask for help from your support system, from your spouse. Just ensure that, and even from the kids if they're old enough to help out with the chores. And then we also want to say thank you to the representatives of Red Plus, Forest Department, as well as Yashe, talking once again about the importance of our forests and forest protection, but of course on the community level.
Certainly, and of course we want to thank Miss Karen Rosita for coming in with Ajay and Noelle this morning. We had fun exercising. It's definitely something that you could do at home with the children. Getting your 15 to 30 minutes exercise every day. It's critically important.
All right, and it can be fun. That's what she taught us this morning. It can be absolutely fun. There was no cost associated. She used water ideals as their weights. And it was just putting on some good music and getting engaged. Please
and encourage your children to eat healthy.
Yes, some of them. So fruits, I like the idea. We challenged Ninja actually, so Chef Ninja. If you want to find him on YouTube, of course, he does cook. He has a YouTube channel with his cooking show. And I told him, you know, we're going to look out for those healthy shakes now. And Noelle as well, who does bake. Maybe she'll bring out that banana cake next.
Yeah, certainly. And I would definitely look forward to tasting that banana cake.
All right, we got to get moving though. So if you want to contact us, send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OYEBelize. Thank you, Brighton, for jumping in this morning.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Definitely did have fun.
Yeah, everything that you quite enjoy, from exercise to talking about the environment.
Right. Right in my arena.
And mental health with Jenny. All right, so that's it. Remember to tune in on Monday morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day and weekend, Belize.
Stay safe.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.